Welcome to Kletus Roadside Service. We're rolling around. We're having a good day. Let's see. The guy last night, he told us, don't be here until 10 o'clock tomorrow because they're moving out some trains. They're moving out all the old trains we had, the ones that we already finished, off of the rail that's easiest to get to, and they're moving them over to moving them out, moving another string of other engines in, which is going to be nice. Um, he said, "Yeah, don't be here till 10." I'm like, "Oh God, all right." It's just kind of killing my overtime is what you're doing, but whatever. And then he called me this morning, right as we were getting ready to leave. He said, "Well, we were going to leave extra early so we could kind of, you know, be there on site and ready to go." And he said, "No, no, no, hang out there. It's actually going to be more like 11 now." I'm like, "Motherfucker." So we've been sitting around the shop, not doing shit. I went through and organized some of my toolboxes on this truck and drained out some used oil and then moved a truck. Just kind of sitting around, just hanging out. And then he just texted me a little bit ago and he said, "Hey, we're good to go." So we're headed up that way, and I'm like, man, if we would have left whenever we were going to leave, we would have been getting there right now when it's good to go. Like, he's saying it's good to go. I don't understand. Like, what the fuck? But oh well, it'll be all right. It'll be all right. We're rolling up there now. Um, in other news, the title for my car came. I think I already mentioned that, but if I hadn't, here it is again. The title for my car came, which is awesome because now I can sell the piece of shit. It's not even a piece of shit. I should quit saying that. I just don't like it. So I'm getting ready. I got the title, getting ready to sell it. I already made a listing yesterday and put it up for sale for $3,200. I've already got a lot of people. Well, not a lot. I got like 4 people that are interested in it. So that's looking good. One guy's really trying to get me to sell it for $2,500, and I'm about to take it. Uh, like if he's willing to show up and have the money, I'll do it probably. But that's crazy. That's like, all right, let me just give you, what is that? $700 off. $700. I could have another $700. Just kidding. I expected to be talked down on it, but not. I don't really want to sell it for $2,500. I'm more comfortable at 28, but then I'm like, all right, what am I talking? $300? But $300 is quite a bit of money for me, at least. So I don't know. I don't know. I'd really rather just get it sold, get it the fuck out of my driveway, and then I don't have to worry about it at all anymore. And then I can start getting that dirt bike and getting everything ready to go with that because I'm gonna need to buy some gear. Um, Not really much. Maybe a jacket and definitely a helmet. That's what I plan on doing today when I'm sitting there getting loaded and getting offloaded. I'm going to be looking up helmets and pricing out some helmets, figuring out which one I might want to get. I might just buy one off of Amazon, but I might actually go to there are a few dirt bike stores and motorcycle shops around that I could probably get a decent helmet. And then gloves. I think I'm definitely going to want some gloves. Um, just in case, and I've rode dirt bikes a lot growing up, and yeah, having a nice pair of gloves is handy. literally handy for your hands, because you'll rub the fuck out of like the webbing between your thumb and your pointer finger. You'll rub that shit fucking raw. And then any other little upgrades that I might want to do, I'm probably, if I do any upgrades, it's probably just going to be suspension and then cosmetics. Uh, and then maybe like I might invest into a new backpack type situation, one that might work a little bit better for riding around on a motorcycle. And I don't know, but I could also go into where I get new foot pegs or shifter knobs or handle, like the handlebars and grips and brake levers and stuff. But I don't know. I gotta feel it out and see if I think I could do better with anything else. Front fender for sure. Front number plate. Well, it's not gonna be a number plate. Just like a front guard with a headlight, because I think I want to go round. I want to go with a round headlight, maybe. I don't know. But that's all shit that doesn't really matter right now. But the front, I don't think I want to even ride the bike around with that front fender on it. It's too goofy looking. It just looks like a big ass toenail. It's a Suzuki DR 650 is what the dirt bike is. Not sure on the year. It's kind of dated, so I don't know if it's like if I had to guess, I'd say 2012, but I could be totally way off. It could be a lot older. It could be even newer. I'm not sure. They kind of stuck with the same platform for a long time. So, um, other than that, I don't know. I could really get lost in all the gear and everything that I'd want to get for it, but I am ready for this fucking bike. Very excited that we're getting so close to that sitting in my driveway and me riding it to work and shit. I am going to need to find time to get up to the DMV and get that permit. And then, just, I don't know, ride it on the permit for 6 months until I can get a road test in somewhere. But, if I put my mind to it, I can actually get it done. So that's what we're working on. And, and then I'll have, well, some of the extra money that comes from that is going to go towards other stuff. But the truck, my pickup truck, my 92 is going to get a full service and probably new shocks, and possibly painted. Not the whole truck, and not by a company, by me with a rattle can, turbo can. I want to try out those turbo cans, so I got the sander and all that shit, and I think might need to get some primer, maybe. I don't know how I want to do it, and I don't really want it to look super great anyways. I just don't want the red door anymore and the green hood. If everything just matched a little bit better, I'd feel a lot better in that truck. So I'm going to go ahead and do all that. And also the cab corners are rusted. They're not rusted out anymore because I replaced them, but I never painted them when I replaced them, so that the original coating that came on them from the factory was paintable, but it was not intended to be left like that. So they just have surface rust all over them. But I'll get that taken care of, get that truck painted up, and I might even tint it. But that's if we have extra money, which we will not. We're Even with selling the car, it's like I could spend all of the money on all kinds of other stuff and not even buy a motorcycle or do service on my truck, and the money could be gone. But that's what we're counting on is the money from that to kind of help out with some of these other things. Um, and I think we're going to be all right. I think we're going to be just fine. I'm just so excited to get this car sold, get that money in the pocket, and get my life moving in the motorcycle direction. And you never know. I I don't think I'm gonna have any problems with it, but you never know. I've I've rode a motorcycle on the street. Well, it wasn't even legally, but I rode my buddy's street bike on the road once, like in traffic and stuff, and it's an experience. You feel very vulnerable, but I mean, as a kid riding dirt bikes, we were always riding the dirt bikes, but on like neighborhood streets. Sometimes we would go a little further out, but mainly just on like neighborhood streets, and that's no big deal. But riding like on the highway with traffic, you feel a little vulnerable. You feel like everybody's out to get you. Uh, you feel like, if anything goes wrong, my body is going to hit the pavement. Like if anything goes wrong, that I am going to be on that fucking pavement. So I'm gonna try to keep that in mind. I don't know what gear there is out there, but you know, don't dress for the ride, dress for the slide. So if I end up sliding around, I don't want my pants to rip off and then my fucking bloody ass cheeks. Somebody to see my bloody, hairy ass cheeks. That would be kind of embarrassing. Uh, but what happens, happens. So I don't know if I don't really want to be walking around in leather pants either. I don't want to look like a fucking goober. Can I have my lane? Thanks, bud. Jesus Christ, he's just bumping the line on me. I do that to people. People don't do that to me. I do that to people. Fuck. Um, we got a lot of work done yesterday. There was one engine that I was working on that we had with the configuration of the fuel tank, using a 2-inch hose was not possible, and that's how we've been loading all of these into our tankers. It was not possible with the 2-inch hose. So what we did was we have a 1-inch hose. 1-inch is 50% of 2-inch. So it took twice as long to load a rail car or load up my tanker, but we did it. It just took twice as long. So, and the guy behind me, he's driving. He's back there somewhere. He ended up getting, so he's marking each one that he touches, and so it's like, oh, I finished this many. One of them had 500 gallons in it, so he finished that one in like a couple of minutes. you know, he got that one done really quickly, and then there was another one that was completely empty, but he touched it, so he marked it down. So I think he said he got 9 finished by himself yesterday. And I'm like, okay, what the fuck ever. And I only did 5, but one of them took the length of 2, maybe even longer than 2. So, um, anyways, I would have got 6 done, and he would have got 7 done. His truck, we swapped him out with a different truck with a different PTO, and that one, it pulls way better for longer. So his is actually running faster than mine anyway. So I would have gotten 6 done, and he would have gotten 7 technically. But I don't know. I had a lot that were over 4,000 gallons yesterday. So, and a lot of them that we hit the day before, they were like 3,000 gallons or 2,000 gallons. So I had I only got 5 done, but they were all pretty full except for the one that was 2,000. It was 2,230 some gallons that I ended up pumping out of that one with the 1-inch hose. So I don't know. They're trying to say I'm slacking. I'm like, I'm not fucking slacking. You guys aren't. You don't know. Okay, you don't know. But today, I asked the guy. I was like, so if you want us to be there later in the day, are we staying later? And he said no. So I think we're gonna still go ahead and start picking up around 5:30, 6 o'clock, or just try to be done around that time because it takes 2 hours to do one. So if we're gonna end at 5, it's not gonna make sense. I mean, I don't mind working late, but it's also like I got a car I gotta sell, and I'm on call this weekend. So the threat of me working this weekend is higher than normal, and it's like I need time. Last night I mowed the yard at 8:45 at night. I mowed not even the whole backyard, just around the swing set. you know, like I did probably half of the yard, but it's in the middle. It's in the middle of the yard, so I didn't mow that side of the yard and that side of the yard. Just mowed like the middle area because my wife was out there. She's like, yeah, I don't know. The grass is kind of tall, and I fucked up because when we built the swing set, I mowed right after we got it built. So, and then the the grass just grows so much faster after you mow it the first time. It's like, you know, pissing after 3 beers. You're gonna piss every single beer if you wait. If you wait, you can drink probably 6 beers and then go piss. Don't break the seal yet. That's what they say. And that's the same thing with the grass. Don't mow yet, or you're gonna be mowing twice a week. And now here I am. I got to mow, and I let the grass grow. I should have probably mowed even before this, but I waited, and I waited until the wife complained. So I was like, all right, I better mow. But now it's like I'm getting back so late, so it's like I don't want to mow the yard in the dark. Plus, this our new family member, Luna, the German Shepherd puppy. She's wonderful. She's growing like nobody's ever seen before. This dog is getting big, but this dog also likes to dig holes and grab sticks. So the whole yard is just it's not looking good. It's tall grass with holes and toys and sticks everywhere. And she doesn't like to grab like the little sticks. She grabs like these logs, like big chunky motherfuckers that you don't want to hit with the mower. And I'm out there at 8:45 at night with the porch light on. I'm just trying to mow it, and I keep hitting shit. I hit something that sparked real bad, so I don't know what the fuck out there was metal, but I hit something, and I was like, oh shit. And then of course I can't be outside without the dogs, or else they'll be howling at the back door. So I have the dogs out there, and it's just scary mowing with the dogs because they like to be right next to me, and it's like, hey, back the fuck up. Shit's flying out from this mower, and I don't. It had a chute on it, but the chute broke off. I don't know. I ripped it off somehow, and then even the mower deck was clogging up all the time. So I ended up bending some of the mower deck out a little bit to make the grass eject a little bit better. But now it's just a giant open hole with blades in there, and it's just like this is. I don't want dogs and kids and people around when I'm mowing with this mower. And I got another mower, but I haven't really had the want or the time to really look at it and work on it because I tried starting it. I sprayed some shit in there and pulled on it, and it's not even firing. So it might need a spark plug or a bad coil or sand down the flywheel or whatever the fuck I got to do. But anyways, we've been watching Lost. me and my wife have been. She said, I want to start a series, and everybody tells me that Lost is a good show, so let's watch Lost. So we've been doing that. We're on episode, I think, 7 or something like that. And I like this show. This is a good show. It's a good, fun show to watch. It's very interesting. I've seen it before. I saw it live on TV growing up. The whole family would gather around and sit and watch Lost, and then it was like bedtime after Lost was done. You know, we would all go to bed. I don't know when it came out, but it was definitely still living at home with mom, dad, and everybody. And man, yeah, it's just like I don't remember any of this. This is a totally different show. Like I thought I would be like, oh yeah, I know what happens, but no, I don't know anything that happens. It's a polar bear. What the fuck? I don't remember that part. Anyways, yeah, I fell asleep watching that last night. And of course, the wife gets pissed off whenever I fall asleep during the show. She's like, okay, we'll just be done. I'm like, what? She's like, we're done. I'm like, wait, you can keep watching it. No, we're done. I'm like, okay, I'm sorry. I literally got up extra early, got to work, worked all fucking day, even though it's not like a stressful job, but I am like outside, and I'm telling you, it's windy where we're at. The wind channels up where we're at, and it's gravel lot, so it's just, you're getting hounded by wind and dust all day. Like, my skin is drying out really bad. Oh, sorry. I don't know what the fuck is going on. Sorry. It's chew flew into my throat. And then I finished work, and the day before I went to the grocery store, and then another grocery store, and then out to eat and everything. And then I finally got home. And then last night I got home, and as soon as I walk in, my son is like, you told me we could take a bath today. I'm like, okay. Because I usually stick him in the shower just because it's way more efficient. But my daughter, she still takes baths but my wife gives her baths. And my son, he's like, I wanted a bath too. And I'm like, okay. As soon as I walked in the door, I didn't even like do anything. I just walked. Before I got to the top of the stairs, I learned that he wanted a bath, and I said, okay, we'll do it. And, with no hesitation, I walk straight into the bathroom, crank that motherfucker on, strip him down, throw him in there, and I'm like, there you go, have a bath. And then I'm sitting in there with him for a while, and then she's like, the grass is really tall. I'm like, all right, watch him in the bath, and I'm going to go out and mow. And I go out, and then I got to pick up the yard, and then I mow, and then it's... and then I finally sit down. I didn't even eat dinner last night. I finally sit down. Or no, I had to go in there. She's like, well, you said you would give him a bath, so you need to go back in there after you're done mowing. I'm like, what? What the fuck? So I went back in there and watched him in the bath, drained him down, washed him too. I thought she would have had him washed by then, but washed him down, and then got him out, got him dressed, and then I finally sit down on the couch, and I pull up my phone. As soon as I pull up my phone, it's bedtime, so got to get the kids put to bed, and then get them to bed, sit down, recline, and I'm just laying there. And she's like, let's watch Lost. I'm like, okay, we'll watch Lost. Turn it on, and then, yeah, I made it a full episode, but then I fell asleep. So, and then I was the bad guy. I'm like, how am I the bad guy? What is going on here? How am I a bad guy for falling asleep? It's like, I've been sitting a lot throughout the day, at work or whatever, but it's like, I need a break. I need to relax. And when I say I'm sitting at the job site, I have to sit next to the meter. I have to watch the meter because the meter will record air. So I have to sit next to the meter, make sure nothing goes wrong, make sure it's not sucking air. And I try to strategically park where there will be a good place to sit while I'm loading, and it has not been working out very well. I've been sitting on the ground. There's a little area underneath my truck that you can sit, like underneath the trailer, but it's right next to the pump, and you're huffing in the fucking used pump oil smoke the whole time. I've been sitting on the train, but that only works every now and again whenever you can see the gauge and everything. And I said I was going to bring a lawn chair today, but I fucked up and I didn't bring a lawn chair. Also, the sun is pretty brutal. It's just shining right on you, dust and wind and everything. So, I don't know. I have not been comfortable at all on this job. It would be really cool if I could sit inside the truck, but that's just not an option. So I don't know. I'm just throwing myself a little pity party here, talking about how fucking badass I am. I think it's more badass to not talk about all the bad things and just deal with it. But this is my therapy, is to just talk it all out. I'm enjoying it though. I'm like, hey, for any job that I got to be stuck on for a month, this is the one. Instead of being like digging holes or you know doing a lot of manual labor and shit. There is manual labor during this. You got to pick up hoses and shit, and that gauge is pretty fucking heavy, and I got to pick it up and move it around several times. And the hose, I don't want to clear my hose out because it'll throw the reading off. So I leave the hose fully charged with fuel while I'm doing all this. So that makes it a little heavier. But it's a 2-inch hose. It's not like anything crazy. And then, I don't know, a lot of sitting around. But you're doing work. So, I don't know. Today, the guy said he doesn't want to work any later than normal. So I guess we're gonna work until about 5:30, 6 o'clock, and head home. And I'll get home around the same time that I normally do, probably. Except I'm not, I don't know, we stuck around the shop a couple of times. I think that today is going to be the earliest I'm going to get home. Maybe, possibly, just depends. And I'm going to be worn the fuck out, is what I'm going to be. And I'm going to keep an eye on my schedule to make sure if I'm working tomorrow or not. I checked it yesterday and I'm not, as of yesterday, but that usually changes around 5 o'clock on Friday. Is like, oh, hey, by the way, you got to work tomorrow. It's like, oh, cool, thanks. I'm not even done with this fucking job. Now I already know I got to work fucking tomorrow. You got to let me know a little earlier. And I'm on call. So it's not like, even if I'm not working, shit will still go down. And when I'm on call, I'm the only Class A has driver they have. So if they need I think they have a Class A, a Class B, a tech, and a supervisor. So 4 people are on call every weekend. And sometimes there isn't a supervisor, but most of the time there is. Basically, if there's a call out, they might not call the Class B guy because they need a Class A truck. So then I'll be the one going out. Or the tech didn't answer. Or they're already out on a different job, and then I'll get called, and I'll have to come out and do work. Which is fine, but it's going to be really annoying if I'm like in the middle of something, and then I get called, and they're like, "Hey, come work." Fuck. And most likely, what's going to happen is they're going to say, "Hey, the trash we need to run the trash trailer tomorrow. You're on call. You do it. Fuck. Okay. Fine. But luckily, I can do that pretty early. I could get there pretty early. But sometimes you go there to haul trash, and you're like, all right, I'm here. Where's the trash? Where's the trailer? And they're like, oh, we didn't know you were coming. It's like, what the fuck do you mean you didn't know I was coming? I was on the schedule to come out here. Then I call my boss, and they're like, what do you mean they're not ready? They're not ready, and it's a different crew on the weekend versus during the week. So then you're just dealing with all that fucking bullshit. And then what would normally take, the fastest I've ever done the trash is 3 hours, I think. Normally takes 4 hours. What would normally take 4 hours, you end up being there for fucking 6 hours doing that on a Saturday, which is fine. You're getting paid for it, but if I got shit going on the weekend, I don't want to be doing the trash, especially the ones where you volunteer. You're like, hey, I need somebody to run the trash. All right, I'll do it. And I show up, and then it's like, hey, yeah, I showed up to just, I have the time to do one little job. Turns into an all-day deal. And that's happened before, too. Or where they say, it's not ready yet, and then you leave, and by the time you are rolling in your driveway at home, they call you and say, hey, it's ready. It's like, well, what the fuck? I mean, that would be my fault on that situation, but whatever. Yeah, today's plans are basically the same. I don't know. I kind of hope I don't have to work tomorrow. And if I don't have to work tomorrow, I hope I don't get called on Sunday also. I want 2 days off of work is what I want. It's kind of what I feel like I'm kind of relying on getting 2 days off of work. But if not, whatever. There's always more days in my life. We can always do it the next time. And then this job, the guy did say, he's like, hey, yeah, we're going to see how it goes, but we might end up working Saturdays too. I'm like, oh, righty. Didn't think this was going to be that type of a job, but all right. So I don't know. But if I have to work on a Saturday, doing this isn't that bad. And I think we'll end up, I don't know what we'll end up doing, but the other guys, the guys that, they're going to be busy today. They're going to be taking off fuel caps all day. Not all day, but most of the day they're going to be working on fuel caps and then sitting in the truck. But once they get all the fuel caps off, there's really not much for them to do other than they got to switch a hose every now and again. Whenever we fill up a tanker car, they got to switch the hose to another tanker car. But I don't know. It just seems like since they have absolutely almost nothing to do, it's more of a pain in the ass. Like if we say, hey, you need to come in on Saturday, they're going to be like, it's not worth our time to come in on Saturday. It's like, what the fuck? They're like, we don't even need to be there. It's like, technically, no. We can get everything taken care of without you there. And it doesn't save all that much time. But I don't know. The job was bid to have all four of us there, so if Saturday does come about, you guys will be coming out on Saturday to sit in a truck and do nothing. Which, I mean, I think I'd be perfectly fine with that. I might even bring my fucking laptop. They got power inverters in those trucks. Plug my laptop in and sit there and just fucking hang out. Because most of my games you can play offline. So, I'd be cool with that. I can play offline games. Really, I don't know. I'm hoping. I don't think I'm going to get the time. But if I do get the time, the next time I play my computer, I'm going to turn on Motor Town. I'm probably going to just skip over all the BeamNG nonsense and just. It's not nonsense, but it's. If By the time I turn my computer on, it'll be an hour later before I'm ever playing BeamNG. Motortown, there's no mods or anything like that. Maybe an update, but it should update on its own already. I turn it on, click on Motortown, and I am in the game playing. And it's like, this is a game that's cool. Now, once you're in the game playing, there's not really little shit to do. You know, it's just doing the trash run on Motortown, which is a little job you can do, which makes a lot of money. Just doing one of those runs, it takes like over an hour. So it's like, there's nothing quick about any of the games I like to play. I did see a video last night, the little amount that I did look at my phone. I saw a video for what are you doing, Toyota? You don't have a blinker, you don't have a tag, you just fucking drift onto the highway right in front of me when there's no reason for you to change lanes because your lane continue. I don't know, man. I'm bothered by this Toyota. Old man just chewing on sunflower seeds. You got this big motherfucker. Why are you not in the slow lane? I saw a video last night of a new game. I don't know if it's a new game. I think it's a beta or something that came out. But it's pretty. It looks like a cool game. I don't know. I started to watch the video on it. I'm gonna watch it again. I don't even know what it's called, but it looks like it goes along with Mon Bazoo, which is the Canadian simulator, or My Summer Car, which is basically a Finnish people simulator. And then there's another one. It's called My Truck or my first truck or something. And there's another one that's called My Garage. I don't know. They all seem kind of the same. They all have about the same graphics, the same control-ish type, and they're just basically mechanic simulators with life simulators in them, and they're just all combined. And I don't know why those attract me so much. I'm just into them. The only one I have is it's called My Garage, but the game is so intricate that, like, I don't know, man. Either I'm doing something wrong or I don't feel like putting in the effort to play the game. But I don't know. You get a car, you put it together, and it will not fucking fire up. And you're like, what the fuck did I do wrong? You got to take it all the way back apart and then put it all back together, and it still won't fire up. Or it's just running. I don't know. It's like, how do you open the door? I don't know. It's just one of those games. You got to use the whole fucking keyboard. And then trying to get your controller set up to drive and also look and all that shit is just kind of confusing. But I don't know. If I would just embrace the keyboard, I would probably be okay. But I don't like playing with the keyboard. I'm okay with a couple of keys that I got to use on the keyboard, like BeamNG. I can actually probably run the most things with the remote, with how I set up the keybinds. And use the keyboard just for like hooking a trailer or using the node grabber and stuff, keyboard and mouse. But WeatherTech environmental is that environmental? Why you're in a pickup truck? Why are you going so fucking slow? Playing on his phone. Got a couple of cars pulled over here. And if these semis want to be upset at me for passing on the right, how the fuck am I passing you on the right? There's no reason you're not in the right. I should be where you're at, you should be where I'm at, and we'd all be working together on the highway. But for some reason, you guys just want to ride in the middle lane, and I'm dealing with this fucking renovations, not environmental. It says renovations. WeatherTech renovations. Slow and fast, slow and fast, slow and fast. We're doing 65 in a 75, and I'm behind a fucking Dodge. Hey, hey, hey. He's on his phone. I can see him. He's just playing on his phone. All right. Well, sorry for the long silence there. I'm just. Oh, now he's going the same speed as me. We're literally doing 10 miles an hour faster. We're gonna call it here. Adios. Goodbye. Keep all 18 down. Talk to you later.